Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining out, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
I think I did it. All right. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys really like my neat little thrown together cinematic intro thing. I mean, you know, use some imagination. I know, it's a blank screen. But anyways, we trying. Ooh, this thing is messing up my hair real good. That's nice. Gotta look fly. All right. So anyways, what's up? How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys noticed that I've got a better camera. I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah. I see I've got a couple of friends that's shown up here tonight. Awesome. What up, Pam, Magic, Moon, Freaky? Awesome. I'm so glad to see you guys here. All right. Well, anyways, y'all know me. I'm Fisher of Spam on YouTube, but in real life, my name is Jim. So thank you guys for all coming in tonight. I'm going to be going over some of my experiences while I lived in Lake Guntersville, because when we pick up the story, finally moved out of that place and away from the farm so I could, you know, not be around all that. Plus work. So there's that too. But anyways. Well, thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. I know it is a little busy, but I kind of like it, man. I mean, I've only got so many Hawaiian shirts, and if I'm gonna make that like my shtick for the time, I mean, I've got to use what I got, right? So, anyways, let's see here, guys. Please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I see there's a Bradley Smith. Oh, that's new. I have a feeling I know who that is, though. Hi. It's good to see you. Anywho, let's see here. Let's get a little bit of business out of the way. First of all, before I go into everything, I want to say a quick couple of thank yous. One, to Miss Pam, this person right here. Pam, you're such a blessing. You do so much behind the scenes. I don't know that I could make it without your help. So, just as a quick thing, I'm not going to single you out and, you know, make you blush too much, but thank you. Next person I want to say thank you to real quick is my buddy JoJo. I'm not sure if she's here just yet, but doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and get this thank you out of the way, because when I first came on to do an interview, it was at Barton Nunley's channel and Humanoids. And I was able to get through like most of it, right? But when I got done, I was like, okay, let's kind of fade back into the distance a little bit. Just kind of chill. I don't want to like come back on and people like, you know, say, you know, potentially mean things or something, you know. Like I was just like, yeah, let's just chill out a little bit and chat, right? And then I finally commented on something on somebody's show. I can't remember. But she remembered me. And she was like, hey, I'm so sorry that you went through that trauma. And everything that you're saying right now is valid. I just want you to know that I feel for you. And man, that really hit me right in the feels. And ever since then, we've been great friends. So, yeah, believe it or not, Freaky, I'm actually a little shy. So, y'all have no idea how hard this is for me to actually do, but I try. If I can help just one person, then it's worth it. You know what I mean? So, anywho, if I can get this hair off my nose. So unprofessional. So unprofessional. But yeah, I say that to also kind of, also give you guys a bit of a disclaimer. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like on my last show, hey, Amber's here. What up, Amber? It's good to see you, girl. On my last show, when I was talking about the visitation that I had, it was, I noticed that like my timing was not great, and I was kind of pausing a bit too much. And I want you guys to, just have a brief understanding of why that is, like that event was very traumatic for me, and everybody, when I come on their show, they want to hear that story, and I'm happy to do it. I just want to make sure you guys know, though, that like, yeah, we're here to entertain each other and everything. I tell you some stories and maybe, whatever. But, I just always keep in mind when you hear this stuff, it can be a little traumatic, and, just give me a little bit of grace if assuming it threw anybody off. I know all you guys. I know that y'all are all pretty cool cats. So I don't got to really worry about that. But, future YouTube land, So, anyways, let's get that out of the way. Let's get all that out of the way. All right. So, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, I'll be following up Dogman on Monday and found out Bigfoot is right around the corner. Another channel coming up to meet me and boots on the ground. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Well, that sounds very fun, Amber. Make sure you're careful. These critters can be a little bit prickly. So be careful. Have fun, though. All right. So, business. You guys came here to have me tell you some stories. So, we're going to pick up where I left off. There's JoJo. You missed it. I shouted you out. Anyways. So, we're going to pick up with what started going down once I moved to Lake Guntersville. It was a pretty cool spot. I liked it. I lived right on the, well, I guess you would say lake, but actually there was like Lake Guntersville, and then right beside it, I guess, somehow, sort of, there's the Tennessee River that flows through there. And I lived right there off the Tennessee River. And, a lot of people are like, man, I'd love to live on the lake, yada, yada. Let me tell you something. For the first month, it's pretty cool. Go out to the backyard and fish whenever I want. That was pretty sweet. But eventually, I just didn't even see that thing anymore, It was like, it just basically become an obstacle to avoid when I mowed the yard. Like, don't fall in that. So, you kind of get a little numb to it. But that, and I'll tell you something that's hilarious that really got me many, many times. So imagine you've had the experiences that I've had, and you're laying there in bed, asleep, dead to the world. And then all of a sudden, you hear just some booming, buzzing noise, and your backyard is lit up like the 4th of July, or insert other bright event. I don't know. I noticed that some of my audience is from Canada and UK. I don't know what you guys do there. Jojo, you're from Australia. I don't know what you guys do, but picture something bright, okay? So I wake up and I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? What's happening? Open up the curtain and I'm thinking UFO, right? Yeah, Amber's got it. She's saying UFO. But you know what it was? Every single time it was a big old fan boat with giant bright LED lights all down the side of it, lighting up the water with guys bow fishing off of it. Oh, Freaky's the one in Canada. Oh, solve that mystery. Neat. But yeah, so frustrating, scary. Oh my God. It's just, yeah. It's like, normally here in Alabama, our first reaction is like, go get my gun, take care of these punks in my backyard. But when they're in a publicly accessible waterway that just so happens to be your backyard, there's no recourse. And if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and they're still bow fishing, sorry about your luck. Is what it is. But yeah, so fun times. Anyways, so I'm going to get into some stories now. So sorry, we're 12 minutes in and I'm not entertaining. So anyways, let's get to it. So the first story that I want to recount for you guys is a little bit of groundwork. Is like for whatever reason, once I moved to Guntersville, I started having sleep paralysis. Maybe it's not too unsurprising given, what actually happened with my last event on the last episode, right? It's kind of par for the course, I guess you'd say. But it started happening. And every single time, it's, terrifying. It's terrifying. You're sitting there frozen. Thank you. You're sitting there frozen, and you can't do anything about it. And like, I could like feel something, and I don't really put too much stock into it because I know that clinically speaking, when they talk about sleep paralysis, that's normal, right? So I don't really worry too much. Like if nothing came and interacted with me during the time, then I'm just gonna assume, rightly, wrongly, I don't know, perhaps for my own sanity's sake, that it's just normal. I don't know. What? I got some prayers for you, girl. Make sure you start rebuking that thing. Don't let it sit there and fester, girl. All right? If you need help, reach out. I got you. Anyways, so one time, sleep paralysis that actually was notable. Did I just do the Scooby noise? I don't know. Did I? Ruby Roo? Was that the one? I don't remember doing that one, but maybe. I've been known to do some goofy things. Sorry. Anyways. It's giving me the Wi-Fi thing again. Why? Sorry. You would think I would know better by now and have devices turned off that could possibly be draining. Just try to get back to the story. Come on. Anyways, I'm sorry. All right, here we go. So the notable time. All right. The wife is working night shift. If you guys recall, she's a nurse. So happens. All right. And all of a sudden I wake up, but I'm instantly in sleep paralysis. Like I wake up, there is no moving to be had. And I'm like, oh, great. Here we go again. But this time I can feel it. Like there's something coming. And to understand a little bit of like how this house was laid out, it's a very old house. All right. So basically, it was like two fishing cabins, I guess you could say, that was real close together, and then built in between them was like a connector, and it's called a dog trot. Hey, Lolo's here. What up, girl? Good to see you. And so as I'm there in sleep paralysis, like I feel that there is a presence that's emanating from that area of the dog trot. And I'm just like, oh no, I'm like, I'm freaking out. Like I don't know how to explain the being able to feel that. I often associate when things happen with like a pressure change, and like barometrically, physically. I mean, however you want to feel it. Like there is like a pressure, a presence in the area, and this time it's just like, whew, it's all consuming, and I'm just like frozen there in terror with my eyes open and unable to do anything. There's nobody there. I'm by myself, of course. And I'm laying on my left side. So I can't really like see the wall over here where or at the foot of the bed where the door is. So I'm just freaked out, and then I'm just waiting for whatever it is just to come in and get me, right? I feel that the door opens. I don't know for sure, and you'll understand why in a minute if it did or not. But something else is going on too that I don't know how to explain. I can't hear anything. Like there's no noise whatsoever. And I feel that thing, it's right there in the doorstep or in the doorway, and it's coming slowly. And then suddenly out of nowhere, if I'm lying, I'm dying, y'all. Another presence just winks into existence right beside me. I feel it put its hand on my hip and then raise its other hand at the thing in a stopping motion towards the thing that's coming in to the room. I don't know how to explain that. Like maybe it's a mind's eye kind of thing. I'm not sure, because realistically, the only thing I can tell that's happening is that there's something standing beside me. It's got its hand on my hip, and there's something coming in the door. That's the only thing that I can actually like tell for sure. But like, I don't know. I mean, I feel it do this, and then all of a sudden I start hearing. Well, not hearing. I'm feeling the vibrations of the air. Because keep in mind, I can't hear. There is no sound. But I'm feeling vibrations in the air coming from the thing that has its hand on me, screaming at this thing as it's coming into the door. I have no idea what it's saying. Not a clue. But I mean, it is just yelling at this thing hardcore. Hardcore. And I'm just still just like, just in shock of everything that's going on. And then all of a sudden, it's just both things disappear. It's gone. I shoot up. I'm like, what's what just happened? The lights turn on out there in the dog trot, and the wife walks in from work. And she's like, why are you up looking like that? I'm like, oh my God. You have no idea what just happened. Thank you so much for being home. She's like, yeah, I'm happy to be home too. I'm like, yay. She's like, did something happen? I was like, yeah, do you want to hear about it? She's like, no, I don't. Was it scary? I was like, oh yeah, it was real scary. She's like, that's okay. I need to get back to sleep myself now. So keep it to yourself. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So yeah, and there's not really a whole lot in the way of takeaways from that, like that I have to like add, really. I mean, my personal thought is guardian angel or just angel. I mean, that's how I feel about the thing that popped up and held on to me and stopped whatever that was. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like that's the case. And I tell you that there is one other interesting detail about it. And I'm not really sure how to think about it though. So if you guys remember, I did an episode talking about my CE5 stuff, right? And one of the entities that I had hold on. Lolo has a question. So the second thing that came in screaming scared it away. Yeah. Essentially, I mean, um the way that I see it is basically it came there to defend me and was rebuking it in the name of Jesus. I mean, I like I said, I feel guardian angel / angel vibes off of it. I can't prove it though because I couldn't see. Oh no, you're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yes, you did, Joe. Yes, you did. All right. So the takeaway. Oh yeah, the CE5. All right. So if you remember, I talked about one of the beings that I talked to, encountered, whatever. And the last one that I had spoke with was an Anunnaki, right? Like that was my intention. That's what I wanted to talk to. That's what it identified as. I don't know. Who knows, right? But and I've always had like takeaways, even like on the conversations that I can't remember. Like I can. It's only like a feel thing most of the time. Like assuming that I'm not allowed to remember, like vague impressions and just like the way they felt, if that makes sense. I will say, strangely, I don't know, but I do know that Anunnaki felt a lot like the angel that showed up. Can I say that they are related? Can I say that Anunnaki are directly fallen angels? Or would they fall more into the category of Nephilim? I don't know. That's for more researched people to make that distinction. I just know that the presence of what came to save me that night felt a lot like that thing. Only instead of hostile, like that thing was, the thing that came and saved me that night felt like peace, love, and joy, and stuff like that. So, was it related? I don't know. I don't know. In a interesting, I don't know, thought canon, I guess you could say, for me, I like to think maybe that was its sister or brother or something like that. No, but stayed with the good. I don't know. It's just like my impression. So take that for whatever. I'm not claiming anything about it. I'm not talking as any kind of authority because just a guy in a Hawaiian shirt sitting up here in his attic. What the heck do I know? But anyways, so yeah. You guys got any more questions about that before we can move on? Happy to answer. Okay. Yes. I've got lots of books. Anyways. All right. So let's go on. Next one Um, it surprisingly didn't scare me, like, at all. Maybe I should have been, but for whatever reason, it didn't. So basically, all right. Once again, laying down, sleeping, but no sleep paralysis. I'm actually trained myself to sleep the opposite way since this. So, and for whatever reason, I think I was just super tired that night. I kind of fell asleep like with my like this, like with my hands sticking up. Like I don't know how I was able to accomplish that. I guess it flopped over my head. I don't know. But anyways, my arm is up in the air as I'm laying on it like this with the pillow underneath. And all of a sudden I get woken up by something grabbing my hand, throwing it down, and then yelling into my ear, "I hate you. Get out." So naturally that gets me up pretty quickly. I raise up and I look just in time to see like a little shadow guy like scampering away, going to the foot of the bed, crouching down, and then disappearing. Naturally, I get up and investigate because, for one, this is kind of new. Hey, I can move. If that thing was physical enough to grab me, maybe it's physical enough for me to try to stomp a mud hole in its head. It looked a little short. Let's give it a shot. Go look. Nothing. Underneath the bed. Nothing. Nothing. So I just basically said aloud to the room, whatever. I ain't got time for this. Lay it back down. Out like a light. Pretty good at sleeping. Like if sleeping was an Olympic sport, I would be very good at it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why it didn't really scare me. I mean, maybe I was at that point now to where it's like, oh, let's see if we can't hurt something if it can or if I can, right? I don't know. Something about it in my brain registered ghosts, and I'm not afraid no ghostesses. So mostly because I don't believe in ghosts the same way as other folks tend to. I mean, the Bible's pretty clear on that. If you don't like that as a response, I'm sorry. I might not be your slice of spam. I am Hawaiian flavored. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to talk about it. So if you guys have some interesting ghost stories, shoot them my way. I'm always open to hear it. I'm so here for it. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. Ghostesses. Whatever. So yeah, slept. No problem there. And that's the end of that story. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting. Let's see here. I remember I've heard other people tell stories similar to that though. I don't know what to think of it, what to make of it. I mean, was it a ghost? I doubt it. It was pretty solid. It was more of a miniature shadow person, I guess you could say. I don't know. Oh, yeah, yeah. Pam's got the business going up there. There's the email. If you guys got something you want to holler at me, please do. All right. So, next story. Now, this one is not a frightening event. This one is actually a dream. And I don't really pay attention to my dreams unless I wake up and can remember every detail. Then I feel like I'm supposed to get something out of it. So this one is something that I've never really shared on any of my interviews, so it's a little present for y'all there. So, if you remember, on my very first attempt at CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, if you don't know what it is, not on the recommend, don't do it. Anyways, the being that I contacted first let me remember almost all of the conversation, right? And if you'll remember, one of its messages it gave to me was, when I was asking it about like the progress of humankind and all that. And keep in mind, I wasn't a Christian at that time either. So, me, yada, yada, whatever. Its message to me was like, merging with AI, which seems to be the course that you guys are on, is bad. Don't do that. Instead, make yourself the best humans you can. Merge your DNA with that of animals. You're so blessed with all this animal life. Take little bits of DNA from like chimps and give yourself chimp muscles and stuff like that, right? So yeah, just go back and you'll see the whole spiel it gave me. But anyways, in the stream, this no, I'm not having a Groundhog Day. But that was a good movie. Bill Murray is awesome. But anyways, so it came back to me. This is the first time and only time that this has ever happened since all that went down. And I don't remember what I was dreaming about or whatever, like before, but all of a sudden I just remember it being like totally interrupted, and there that thing is. Oh, okay, I see, freaky. And it's like, hey, do you remember how we talked about this? I was like, oh yeah, how you doing? He's like, don't worry about that. He's like, look, what you need to do is try to influence humankind to go this direction and make the best humans that you can. I was like, well, dude, how am I going to do that? I'm just a normal dude. How? He's like, here's what you need to do. You need to write a book. I was like, okay, I'm not the best writer in the world. I can barely talk. I was like, don't worry about that. He's like, look, here's how you do it. He said, figure out the workarounds that you need to do legally wise for like, mentioning things about CRISPR. He's like, that's going to be important later. Come up with a different name. And he told me a different name to use. I was like, okay, we'll go with that. He's like, here's and basically like the semantic starts playing in my brain, and he's like standing there right next to me, like pointing these things out and talking to me. He's like, look, your generation loves nostalgia. He said, you need to play on these tropes. Here's this thing that you used to love as a kid. How many people do you know still love this thing? Take this look and incorporate this look to your main character. Here is the best way to write your book, like the genre of it. It's here's the setting, post-apocalyptic. All these things are going down. You're essentially making like a super soldier type serum, and like this is the way that this needs to go, basically. And he's laying all this stuff out of the hows and the what to do. And he's like, and like I saw the entire book play out in that dream. He's like, this is how you market the book. He gave me the entire marketing scheme. And at the end of all this, I'm just like, to what end? Why do you want this? He's like, look, if you do this, it will be a bestseller. You will make plenty of money. You'll get yours. Don't worry about that. I was like, okay, sounds great. But why? He's like, because you only need to really just impact one person. What do you mean just one person? He's like, you only have to reach one specific person in order for what I'm telling you that you guys should do to make it happen. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. This all looked pretty cool. I had a good time watching it. Let's do it. So, yeah. Guess what? That book is written. Yep. Technically, I'm in the editing phase of it at this point. But since I've gotten to that point, I've turned my life around. I've given my life back to Christ. And I've done the research from that angle and realized, like I mentioned before, what this thing is basically wanting me to do is to influence people now for some time in the future, just to go back and start making chimeras. So I mean, think about it. I mean, everything that's in the book of Revelations ends up that happens. The fallen angel, the Nephilim, and chimeras, and all that stuff that was around back in the days of Noah. So shall it be again. All that stuff is going on in Revelation too. I'm not gonna say that stuff like that ain't already going on, because I'm pretty sure it is. But my mindset on the whole matter now, no, come on, you silly goose. No cults. My mindset on the matter now is no. It's gonna happen regardless. I don't need to be culpable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that on me, whether I'm there for it or not. They don't need my help. It's gonna happen anyway, so go find somebody else. But I will say, I really did enjoy writing it. Like, turns out I like to write. Who knew? Crazy. Never did before, but now it's fun. But every time I now have dreams that I actually remember, I kind of look at them like, what's going on here? All dreams are kind of sus. So that sucks. Kind of sucks. You're watching Waco on Netflix. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. But I've thought about, though, like taking all the how-to bits out of it, getting rid of that, and then kind of like turning it into like a cautionary tale kind of thing of like, hey, sometimes bad things happen. Don't do that. Don't turn yourself into chimeras / super soldiers / whatever, because consequences and stuff, right? So I don't know. It's still sitting in my Google Docs. It's over 100,000 words. I don't know. I know when I got done writing it, and it's pretty interesting. On your iPhone, you can like set up Siri to talk if you like highlight a word. I highlighted the whole thing and had her read it out to me. And then I stopped it, and then I changed my settings to Siri so that it sounded like a proper speaking British fella talking, and then had him read it to me. It was pretty good. I was like, oh, I'd buy that. But anyways, so yeah. I don't know what to think about it. It's interesting. It's one of those things. But don't worry, I ain't gonna. They don't need my help. So anyways. All right. So The next and last story that I've got for you guys tonight is a doozy. So, remember how I talked about a little bit at the beginning about trauma? All right. So, this is one of the two that I really can say that affected me pretty deeply. The first one was, the first crazy event with the thing that showed up at the end of the driveway, right? So that was a descent into madness, as I named it. You'd like to hear my Aussie accent? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I am not good with impressions, but maybe at the end I can try to work that in there for you. So stick around. But anyways, so all right, this one hurts a lot. Okay, so as a disclaimer, guys, I'm going to turn off my camera just because I don't really want to show you guys that. It's hard enough, okay? But I'm still here, so don't leave. Don't leave. All right? So, and there's my can, and there's the circles moving from the can. All right, it is working. Cool. All right, all right. Okay, here we go. So, not unlike a lot of their nights, wake up and sleep paralysis. It's scary, it's terrifying, all the stuff that you associate with it, right? The problem is that now there's a slight difference. Now, my daughter is born, and she's, Lord, I don't know, maybe 3, 4 months old. And she's doing really good with sleeping in her crib. So her crib is set up at the foot of the bed because that's the only place that there's really space for in our room at the time. So now, instead of just worrying about me or my wife, which that's bad enough, me, that's fine. I'll probably live. I'm not worried about me. But now it's my world at the foot of the bed that if anything comes through that door, it's going to get to her first. So now the fear of that, whatever that is all consuming. I mean, I can't move. I can't talk. I can't do anything. I can't. The only thing that is working is my eyes, which are focused on the ceiling because I was sleeping on my back, in my mind. And keep in mind, at this time, I'm not really the person that you see now. I know all the words to say, but I don't believe them. Right? I'm not the Christian that you know me as today. But I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm praying, I'm pleading the blood of Jesus, I'm doing everything, but understand that for me at that time, those words are empty. I'm just scared and just doing everything I can. You know, it's still coming. It's still there. I start trying to meditate, like, okay, hold on. Maybe I can project my thoughts at this thing. And I'm just laying into it, projecting my anger, giving it every threat that I can muster. Just take your pick, name it. I probably said it. It's not helping. It's not helping at all. But then I remembered, wait, I've astral projected before. Maybe I can project out and go attack it in my spirit body. I mean, whatever it is, like whatever. Hi, Shelly. Good to see you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Right. So I'm like, okay, calm. Try to calm and go do it. All right. And this time I managed to do it. I don't know how. I can't imagine I was really calm enough to do it right, but somehow I pulled it off, and I felt myself, or my spirit self, in quotation, sorry, do it. And I come up out of there, and I'm just ready for battle. And I make it out there into the dog trot, and I don't know if it's because the lights were off or it had something to do with me astral projecting. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff actually works, but I digress. But it's pitch black out there, okay? That's what I need you to see. And I'm stopped. I'm looking around. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I catch a vision of a fist coming down and hitting me in the head. Now, this fist, hand, however you want to describe it, is gray. Which makes sense, because I guess I should have added that for whatever reason, like when I woke up out of the sleep paralysis, for whatever reason, that's what I was feeling was out there. Okay. And I've already explained once before, like how I feel about them and what they are. So what it actually is, who knows? But that's what I see in my, for lack of a better terms, mind's eye. This gray fist just comes out of nowhere and smacks me on the top of my head. And then I am just launched back into my body. And as soon as I'm back in there, all I can feel is pain. It feels like I'm being electrocuted over and over and over. Like, have you guys ever experienced a TENS unit? They put these little patches on your muscles, and there's like a feature on there called worm. And it feels, I think it's DC voltage, but anyways, that doesn't matter. It kind of goes in to your muscle, and it feels like it's kind of worming around. It feels a lot like that. Or maybe picture the most horrible experience you've ever had with your arm falling asleep or leg falling asleep, what have you. And it's like bad to the point where it's very, like, by the time you realize it, you're like, it's super tingly and kind of hurts, right? And my entire body is experiencing that. Like, the only other feeling outside of pain that I am aware of is me shaking in the bed like I'm literally being electrocuted. And all I could feel was pain and agony. I mean, it was excruciating, y'all. I don't know how long it lasted. And I have no perception of time outside of, I mean, like I said, the only thing I'm feeling is just agony. Good night, Moon. Thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, just agony. That's all I can feel. I don't know how long. I don't know how long it lasted. But I do know when it stopped. And it was like somebody just flipped a switch. Boom. It's done. I'm back. I'm coherent. I'm up out of the bed, freaked out, but I'm not worried about myself at all. I mean, I am rushing to the crib to check on the baby. And luckily, she's asleep. She's asleep. I don't know if anything happens. I have no earthly idea. But the thought that it could have rips my soul into pieces. I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know from that day on, she sleeps in the bed with us. I made that executive decision right then and there. From now on, you sleep in the bed with us. If anything tries to come after any of y'all, it has to get through me. I am happy to be the sacrifice, and it can do whatever it wants to me so long as y'all are okay, especially my little girl. She's 7 years old now, y'all. She still sleeps in the bed with me. When she's ready to, she can leave. That's fine. But until that time, nope. I sleep on the edge of the bed, facing the door, every single night. Always. Never used to. Used to always love to have my back against the wall. That was comfortable. Now I can't. I can't do it. I have to be on my side, facing the door first. It has to come through me. So, yeah. So that's a hard one, guys. That's a hard one. That's a very that's a tough one. That one was very traumatic. Sorry, talking hard. So yeah. All right. Me collect my composure. Go back to being a classy can of spam, if you will. All right. All right. Anyways. So yeah. You're welcome, Joe. I appreciate you. So, is there a takeaway? Yes. There is a bit of a takeaway. So your voice. I don't think anybody paid for that, Shelly. I did some air quotes, freaky. Yes. A few. There is a takeaway. But unfortunately for me, I'm kind of prideful and hard-headed. So I don't really learn my lessons well, you know. But, I'm listening to good folks that were eventually able to plant the seed in my head, which is what I'm going to do my best to do for you guys. I don't have a whole lot of victory that happens in my life in terms of dealing with the paranormal or demonic or whatever you want to say until I decide to give my life back to Christ. After that happens, when things show up, oh yeah, we can throw hands. And they've learned not to be so what's the word? In my face, I guess you could say, about things. Maybe. I don't know. Not so brazen. Yeah, there we go. Not so brazen about when they want to come after me. But that's still in the future. That's still in the future of when that happens. At this time, I'm still like, why are these aliens or what have you coming to see me? I mean, who am I? Like, I'm just like dumbfounded. But I do listen to good folks. I find the Tony Merkles. I find the Barton Nunleys. And they're able to plant that seed in my head that makes me reconsider in the future. Hey, you know what? Maybe if I get back to the Christian that I used to be, and these words that I say weren't empty, would I have different results? Spoiler, yes, I did. But that's in the future. Right now, I guess the important thing that I want to lay out for you guys is like, my own particular journey, I guess you could say. Like, like the mindsets, and how they change and how things like progress and decay and then eventually, progress again. And pick and choose and get what you can, glean whatever from, these experiences. I want to make sure that these things, this timeline, this series of unfortunate events are laid out there to the best of my ability for you guys so that you can see, so that there be proof, the whole, you'll know them by the fruit. I want you guys to be able to see that and have some understanding of, where I come from with it all, how I perceive it, and I do my best to lay it out for, like my mindset at the time versus, hindsight, the way I think now, and add that on. Hindsight 2020, yada yada. But yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. No worries. I'm not gonna sit here and bash you guys over the head. Don't worry about that. It's not my style. Come on now. But anyways, yeah. So there's nothing else that I can think of that's really noteworthy enough for my time in Guntersville. Things kind of chill out and don't really pick back up again until I move back to my family's land here in Fife. So, anyways, sorry, I'm ignoring chat a little bit too much. So, I'm sorry, guys, if you guys had any questions. So, if you have any questions for me, get them out there. Let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anything. But, it's a pretty good takeaway. Yeah. Takeaway I get is you'll overcome any obstacles when your family might be in danger. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I went through, like in that last event, man, my brain went through like all the steps that I could possibly think of, you know. And yeah. Oh, what's this? First of all, Jojo asked, "You're in Alabama, right, Fisher?" Yes, I am. I am in Alabama, the best state in the union. And Bradley Smith, can you tell them what we did today? Well, yes, I can. All right, so me and my buddy, Mr. Heath, we took our little ones to go see Cathedral Caverns in Grant, Alabama. We went caving and we had a great time. It was beautiful, beautiful. Man, I love hanging out in caves. Caves are just so cool. One of these days when they get a little older, we'll take them to do some real caving. But yeah, it's a great time. I'll post some pictures on my Facebook page. So you guys know, I do have a Facebook page now for the channel. It goes by the same name. If you, I don't know, want to be a part, you can. This is the sun. Yes. Yes, it is. It is. I figured. Anyways. Yeah. So I'll post some pics of it there, guys. And yeah. Yeah. So on that page, so you guys know, you're always welcome to share if you guys have shows, upcoming shows, events. I don't care. If you've got some cool pictures that you want to post, I also don't care. Go for it. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, liability, it makes me look bad, yada, yada. Yeah, no, I'm not that guy. As far as I'm concerned, none of that really boomerangs back to me. That's all that is up to you guys, the viewers, to decide whether you take it or leave it. So if you have stuff out there, evidence, whatever, put it up. I would love to see it. There's also some interesting stuff that I put up there about, just weird things that happen in the state of Alabama. I posted an interesting article today. Well, technically reposted about Matheny's Bridge and its history, because I've alluded to that before. And I've even told a couple things. Like I had my Bigfoot by proxy story happen right there at Matheny's, and it talks about the ghost girl a little bit. It talks about the guy that had a Bigfoot swing into his covered wagon in the 1800s. It talks about a guy fighting a goat man. Like it goes in and talks about all that stuff. So it's a good read. It's a good read. If I had it right in front of me, well, I kind of do, but meh. Go there and check it out. But yeah, okay, anyways, so yes, and I will post the pictures there, Mr. Liam. I appreciate that, buddy. Anyway, so is there any other questions that you guys got going on? Questions or heck, comments that you just want to like shoot at me? I don't care if it comes out of left field or not. What y'all got going on? What's kicking around in y'all's brain? Talk to me. Don't let me sit up here in the silence. Hello, silence, my old friend. I'm singing to myself again. It was a great chat tonight. I'm so happy to see so many friends showing up. Makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. That's so cool. So cool. Oh, yeah. But let's see here. Let's see. Is there anything that I've got kicking around in my brain? I didn't even think about that. Jojo asks, What's your daughter's name? Conundrum. My daughter's name is Scarlett. Little funny aside, she's like obsessed with YouTube. And when she found out that Daddy is a YouTuber now, she was like, "Oh my God, Daddy, tell them about me, will you please? Tell them about me." If I'm chatting with when I'm chatting with Pam and them and our moderator chat, and she's like, "What you doing, Daddy?" "I'm talking to my friends, my YouTube friends." "Tell them about me." Goofy kid. Don't know what I'm gonna do with her. She's a mess. Love her to death. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Oh, as long as you're getting it done, Magic, that's cool, bud. That's cool. Rooting for you, man. Let's see here. Oh, that reminds me. I said I would do this at the end. All right, Jojo, you're back on the spot. You asked for an Aussie impression. Now, tell me what you want me to say, and I will try. And we can leave the show on that silliness. So, let's hear it. You wanted it. You wanted it. I'm a-waiting. I wonder if I can think of anything. Let's plug Aussie Man in my head for a second and think. Oh, you actually forgot. How do you forget? You live there. Come on, tell me some words. Or you forgot that you asked. Maybe that's more logical. Let me think. Channel my inner Aussie Man. Yeah. Chuckas in the yard on the body. I don't know. That's about as good as I get. Oh, hi, Freaky. Welcome back. So, yeah. That's. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. It's coming to me. Okay, hold on. How do I? Ooh. You forgot you asked. Yeah. Okay. All right. Childhood hero here. Steve Irwin. Crikey! Look at this beautiful goanna. Up. You're all right, bloke. You're all right. Does that work? I do not wish to do anymore. Most of the time, I can barely understand when you guys talk anyway. So it's like, what are you guys saying? Wow, is that even English? But anyways, love you to death. Yeah, see, you missed it, and you even knew that was Steve. Yeah. They wanted me to speak Australian, Freaky. That's what they wanted me to do. So, see, here's the thing. I could never really be a person that reads audiobooks because I've noticed certain character dialogues have to be read by the voice actor. And sometimes those different characters, if it's just one person reading the book, that one person has to portray that. I mean, you guys just heard how bad that was. I mean, do you really think I could pull that off? You're lying, Joe. You're lying. But I can't pull that off, right? Only kind of thing I know how to talk is English and Southern English. Not well, truthfully. Some of my friends here don't even think I'm all that good at that. They're like, "You sound like a Yankee." And yet when I go up north to like see family, they're like, "You sound like a hick." And I'm just like, can't win for losing. So, anyways, y'all, I love y'all. Thanks for showing up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to maybe glean something from it and get something out of it. Whatever that was, I don't know. But I hope. But either way, look, I love you guys so much. I've enjoyed it. So next week, going to be a little different. So let's see here. At some point in time, we've got a Form of the Forbidden coming up, which will be me and Tom Franklin and Daniel Cahoon, aka Magical Journey there. Let's see here. So we do a little get together, a little round table, and we decide to talk about things. So if y'all are going to be excited for that, I wonder if my voice is going through. I hope my voice is going through. But anyways, be excited about that. That's going to happen. Also, Saturday for the show. Typically speaking, I hear and I try to lay out some stories. But eventually, I'm going to be running out of my own experiences. So I started trying to lay some groundwork and reaching out to some folks and getting some things kind of comments, because eventually I want you guys to hear their stuff, you know? And I'm not one to stick to a script, although one wants me to, and I'll do that as best I can. But I try to keep it loose. I don't, I tell them like, hey, come on, talk about your experiences or talk about whatever you want, your research, your current thought that's in your head. And that's what's going to be going down. So, as long as my work schedule does not change, that's what's going to be going on for Saturday and giving myself a bit of a break. And y'all can hear somebody else talk with me. And they're much more interesting than me. So, I'm not going to make any spoilers, but I will say you guys have probably seen them before. So, I've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. I have to look at my schedule again. But the next 3 weeks, speakers. So, after that, we're going to kick back off with all the interesting stuff that happened to me once I moved back to Fife. Unless something else comes up and someone's like, hey, yeah, I'll come on your show. And since I've already like offered them like the dates and they're just like, haven't got back with me yet. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to do that. So hope you guys are going to be here for it. And let's see here. Anything else? Yeah. Nope. So I'm going to leave you guys with my famous patented Sasquatch call. Y'all ready? So when in doubt, tookie tookie. Bye.